Welcome. You have entered into the Davis Zone with your host, Brendan Davis.
It is CincyUnderground.com's The Davis Zone in the home of Cincinnati, but it broadcasts all over the place. Welcome back to the one and only host with the most, Brendan Davis, here for an exciting installment. Today's Davis Zone question of the day. We're just going to hop straight into it because it's big. It's big right now all over social media. Everywhere you're going to hear about it, so let's get straight into it. What is a male romper? A male romper is a tiny, tiny piece of clothing that is basically a onesie that covers not much. You see a lot of leg, you see a lot of arm, and a lot of chest. But rompers weren't originally made for men, they were made for women. You actually will see rompers all the time during the summer. Males might not know they're called rompers because they're just not that interested in fashion, because I'm not really that interested in fashion. But at the same time, fashion is being brought upon us. My guest in the studio today for the Davis Zone is Ryan Sir and Meff from Escape the Room Challenge. Facebook Live, seeing their faces and golden faces at that. This is going to bring the ratings, boys. Yeah. How are we doing today?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for coming, guys. Always a pleasure to see you. Now it's even more of a pleasure to have you in studio. We're going to be talking about the Escape the Room Challenge, our experience from CincyUnderground.com for our Escape the Mob room. But we're going to get into that in a little bit. I need to ask you, Meff, you, Ryan,
Yes, sir.
What is your opinion on these rompers?
I would say, I wasn't prepared for this question, but I would say that the male romper is, if I saw a man walking down the street wearing a romper, it would take every bit of self-control not to make a comment. I mean, I don't know, Meff, are you in favor of this idea?
Oh, well, I got mine in green, so I kind of fade into
Meff,
the
I got you that as a
environment.
joke gift.
It's green and floral, everybody. Meff, he looks great in it. Most guys that wear it, though, don't, unfortunately.
You got to have a physique like this to pull it off. Let's be honest.
The Greek Adonis bod is what you need, for sure. My opinion on rompers, Davis Zone approved opinion on rompers, is if I see you in one, I will probably not hold a conversation with you. It's nothing personal, but I read something about 2 or 3 years ago. You can call me conspiracy theorist, you can call me crazy, whatever you want to call me, paranoid, yada yada. It said, by the year 2050, whatever, I'm not going to say the government or upper echelon, but the whole purpose of this fashion industry is to make one gender and everyone be one gender. And it's kind of happening already because there are some colleges that aren't allowed, the students have grouped together and say we're not allowed to say him or her, and they have one singular pronoun.
Dude, that's deep.
That's
deep. Illuminati stuff.
Exactly.
There. How did you get your hands on that?
The dark web.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
you gotta
have
show me how to
connections.
do that after the show.
I definitely will.
All right.
But I think the term they're using is Zim. So if anybody calls me Zim, I'm going to be, try again. My name's Brendan. And a lot of Ivy League schools, they don't let their speakers or public guests say ladies and gentlemen in their speeches anymore. And I think that's genuinely reverting. As a society, we're reverting to amoebas, and I hate it. But give me a call at 513-488-1936. Give me your opinion on these male rompers. I want to have a discussion. I want you to sway me. I want to know, are they breezy? Are they comfortable? What is the purpose of the romper? They're definitely not all purpose. You can't have much pockets there. It's like this thin.
You can't wear them in the winter either.
It's right.
Oh, the winter romping coming in 2019.
Winter romp.
Wait, that's around the corner.
It's the Gucci fur romper.
Yeah,
I'd probably get that
ones out there.
Oh yeah, a couple grand. So that's the question for the day. 513-488-1936. A part of these guys being here today is we have some pretty cool prizes for everyone that calls in. If you hear this after the broadcast date, the live date from 4 to 5 p.m. this Monday, you can contact me at Brendan Davis or CincyUnderground.com on Facebook or Escape the Room Challenge on Facebook, and we can get you hooked up with some tickets. But I need you to answer a little question for me. The stage name game today is I need to know who Dwayne Lee Chapman is. I've already had one caller and one winner. Shout out to Brittany Rooks from Fairfield, Ohio. She will have some tickets to take her family to Escape the Room Challenge, and I'm excited for her because the Undergrounders had an amazing time.
So what was the name
amazing.
again?
Brittany Rooks.
No. The trivia question.
Oh, Dwayne Lee Chapman.
Oh, that's not the same as Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
No.
Okay, that's not the same guy? Okay.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is spelled with a W. This Dwayne is with a U. I didn't know there were two spellings of Dwayne. I was kind of interested by that. But this guy is Dwayne Lee Chapman. Very famous if you've ever watched a television before. Very, very famous. 513-488-1936. Give us a call. After the break, not really a break, after the song, we're going to be getting into these interviews and talking about our experience at Escape the Room Challenge. Only on CincyUnderground.com and the Davis Zone.
Well, listen, babe, I love you, baby. I hold you through the night. Well, listen, I love you, baby. I hold you through the night. You're all I ever wanted. You're my heart's delight. I'll be a rough talk boy, a big burning man. I'll be a rough talk boy, a big burning man, baby. But I can be a soft as satin. You take me by the hand. I'll be your lifetime lover, baby. This you'll understand. Well, I'm gonna pick you up when I forget you down. Well, I'm gonna pick you up, baby, when I forget you down. See ya, all I ever wanted, a joy to be around. I'm gonna spend my life, you baby, I hold you through the night. I'm gonna spend my life, you baby, I hold you through the night. See ya, all I ever wanted, you're my heart's delight.
That's a second bugle call in one day for you people because you need to check out Escape the Room Challenge. I am with Bill Meffert, Ryan Sir of Escape the Room Challenge. Amazing PR guys, let alone amazing people. Glad I can have them here. Before we get into the interview, we have two birthdays in entertainment history today. Congratulations to Laurence Olivier for being dead and having a birthday still. He died in 1989, but he was born today, 1907. One of the most famed actors of all time, right behind Marlon Brando in his time period. And a lot of people, don't at me, because a lot of people disagree with that. They say Marlon Brando was second behind Laurence Olivier, but I'm a big fan of The Godfather, which segues me into CincyUnderground.com's experience at Escape the Room Challenge, because we did the escape room called Escape the Mob. Now, I want to set up a little bit, and you guys can jump in at any time and correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
I want to set up a little bit of what the game is about. You have an hour in these escape rooms to escape. Literally, you're locked in there with a group, and you have a scenario. There's different little clues you have to follow, but it's pretty much when we walked in there as a group, it was a huge surprise. I'm not going to give away the surprise, but the game started, we had no idea. That's how quick it is. You get your orientation, then boom, you're in it. And by the end, we had all had a fantastic time. I'd say we bonded together, and it was just a good thing to do as a group. How long has your particular Escape the Room Challenge business been open?
Well, we basically opened in 2015.
Okay.
We now have 4 rooms. Back then, we opened with 2 rooms.
Gotcha.
So those are 2 different experiences. They're themed differently.
Right.
So, and now we have 4 rooms, and they're spreading all over the U.S. like wildfire. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. In like the past couple years, the upturn has been like 150% in these businesses popping up around the country.
My goodness, they actually started in Japan and came from video games.
Really?
And some genius in Japan said, "Hey, wait a minute, we're doing all these point and click escape the room video games. Let's make it a live experience."
Absolutely.
That was a pretty good thought.
It's one step further than virtual reality. It is reality.
Yeah, that's right. It is reality, and so it became very popular in Japan, spread to Europe.
Yeah.
Still nothing in the United States. This is like 10 years ago or more. And then I guess about 5 years ago, the first one opened near San Francisco.
Okay.
Then one opened in New York, and that's when it kind of really took off,
Right.
And so the owner of the escape room was in New York, and he didn't know what it was, and somebody said, "Hey, you should go try that."
Right.
And he had a ball. They had a blast. I'm not sure if they escaped or not, but they right away.
They say they did.
Yeah. Right away they got the concept and said, "We can do this."
Yeah.
So he came back to Cincinnati and opened his own escape room.
I'm going to kind of mirror something you said. The concept behind these rooms are generally pretty simple, but the way they're executed, the way you go through them, it's complicated. As
That's true.
Yeah, as the workers, you get to watch because you guys, you're the eye in the sky during the whole time, aren't you? You have cameras all over the escape rooms, and you control some of the variables, don't you?
Right. We can see and hear everything that happens in the room, so we are kind of the gods over your experience for the hour that you're in there. And people are, those of you who have done escape rooms, the number one question we're asked is it funny? Yes. Yes, it's funny. Yeah. And it's not always funny to see people make mistakes because everybody seems to make the same mistakes, but people's commentary and their comments and stuff, like it's like watching a TV show every hour, and it's so fun to do.
I feel like that would be a really fun job because it's pure entertainment. I know some of the stuff my fellow peers said it had to be kind of funny. Yeah, of course. Is there like one particular memory or thing that someone said that stands out above the rest in your time?
There's a couple, and some of them that we always reference back to, and it's in one of our rooms. There's a reference to the different zodiological signs, and when people find it, they find Aquarius, and every once in a while they start singing "This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius" by Earth, Wind, and Fire. So that one, that's a pretty funny one. And then we had some of your friends over from Class X that did one of our rooms, and they found a acrylic rod, and the comment was, "Hey, I found some uranium." So that one was pretty fun. There's no uranium in the rooms, people. Nothing. No. We test it. It's good. There's no uranium.
And that's I'm glad you said that because there's nothing really dangerous in these rooms.
Oh, of course. It's not a physical challenge. It's a mental challenge.
And that's something that a lot of people that I've told about my experience didn't really get at first because they hadn't heard of these rooms. They're like, wait, is it something like horror related? Are you going to be attacked by people?
Right.
There are no people in there. It's just your mind and clues that you have to figure out.
And your teammates all trying to work together. And it really does take that.
Right.
There couldn't be one person goes in, or probably even two, to solve it in the hour. It takes a team. Yeah. Everybody working on different clues, and one leads to the other. That leads to the other. A lot of fun. A lot of corporations and companies do it as outings for team building.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect for athletic clubs too.
All the time. We had a soccer team and a swimming team. We actually had the swimming team in that they were in from West Virginia. Something from the YMCA. They did a meet. They got.
Sorry.
Thank you. They did 3 of the rooms. I think they were 2 for 3. They were like 14 or 15-year-old boys and girls from the swim team. So yeah, it really like brings people together. And we as a staff do them all the time. We do other escape rooms, and you really always feel closer to people. You know more about them.
Yeah.
Whether you like them more or less afterwards is remains to be seen.
Right.
But you really kind of learn the ins and outs of people's or strengths and weaknesses and what they can do by doing these escape rooms,
That's very true. During our experience, you could tell who was good at the logical stuff, who was good at, the quick wit. Like, at the last second, we needed to figure out some sort of puzzle code. I don't want to give away any secrets. And there were some people that earlier had figured out the logical stuff very quickly, but when it came to the fast pressure stuff, it's just everyone has their individual talents, and you cannot, like you guys said, do this solo. We had to work as a team from the second it starts.
It's not easy.
No.
People think everything's pretty easy, and under an hour you're going to skip out of there.
I'll be out there in
It
20.
doesn't happen very often, honestly. It's probably the success rate's maybe 25%, something like that.
Yeah.
So 75% of the people, didn't get all the clues in an hour to unlock the door.
Right, and that's nothing against like them as people or in their intelligence. It's just you have to think so quick on your feet. It's so fun. It really is.
Yeah, and whether you win or you lose isn't always indicative of how well you do.
Exactly.
Because we've had a lot of groups that I thought they were going to be record setters, and then they end up getting caught up on something. And even if it's something simple, it's kind of like, you were late for work because you couldn't find your car keys. Yeah. Well, it's not like you don't know how to pick up your car keys. It's like you don't know where they are, So you end up showing up at 9:30. I'm going to go with that story, Meff.
Great one.
So, yeah. So a lot of times it's people, and it's like really exciting to see them unfold the stuff, and they pick up on stuff that other people don't, and they don't end up winning.
Right.
But I mean, it's about having a good time.
Yeah.
It's about connecting with the people that you're in the room with and things of that sort rather than, trying to set a record. Because if you go in and trying to set a record, you kind of have the wrong attitude anyway.
Absolutely. It didn't feel too competitive. It just felt warm.
Right. And you're trying to achieve something together, and it actually has become a very social thing.
Yeah.
People frequently go out to lunch or dinner afterwards and sit around the table and analyze what they did, what the clues were. We should have got that one, darn it. And
they get the debrief out of the way.
That's exactly right. So it's
cool.
Also a very social, a lot of fun.
And it's funny what people remember too, because I've had people come back and it's like, oh, we did Escape the Mob, the one that you guys did, and we'll talk about that room in a minute. But
awesome.
we did Escape the Mob, and we got caught up on that part where this, and this happened, and like then this happened, and then I remember you said this, and it's like it's incredible, like how ingrained sometimes these things get into people, and it's cool to see.
It really very much is, because to this day, and we did that a couple weeks ago, and I'm not saying I have the worst memory on earth, but I don't have the best memory, and I distinctively remember most of that hour because it just kind of it took me away from my personal life. It gave me like an hour of adrenaline-filled freedom.
Now let me ask you this, because people kind of have a split opinion on this.
Yeah.
Some people feel like they go in there and the hour goes by in the blink of an eye. When I do an escape room, I feel like in a very short amount of time, I did a full day's worth of work.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's
exactly how I feel.
Like, I feel like I've been through an entire adventure, and I couldn't believe it was only an hour.
Right. Sometimes, my answer to that question is sometimes I've found myself getting caught up in this particular part of the journey to escape, and that's when time flew by. But when I had to look around the room and figure out the next clue, like what are we even supposed to be doing right now, time was so slow because your mind is just adrenaline filled. Like you're just like, I don't know, I need to get out even though there's no actual danger.
And it's funny because with the different perspectives, like when I'm the operator hosting a game, I know exactly what happens step after step in the room because everything is semi-sequential with a couple variations. So when somebody has like 7 minutes left, I can feel like they're probably going to win. Yeah. But at any point in any escape room I've ever done, if I've got 7 minutes left, I've got 30 seconds left in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the Underground crew escaped with like 4 minutes, 27 seconds.
Yeah, you guys did very well.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear it. That is correct. The IQ of CincyUnderground.com has skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the 110 range. A little bit above average, but not brilliant.
Not brilliant. Not Einstein's, but We're on the way to Karl Marx.
Whoa,
yeah,
Karl Marx.
Yeah, we shared the wealth afterwards. We all got candy and we shared
I think you meant Carl Sagan.
No.
Okay, well, this show is taking a turn for, okay, the listeners are tuning out now.
I broke there's two sacrilegious things you don't do in radio, and that's politics and religion, and I just kind of broke both.
Well, let's get started on religion. So what
do you think about the current Pope?
So anyway, so you guys did Escape the Mob, all right?
Yeah,
so Escape
absolutely.
the Mob has between a 25 and 30% escape rate, which is right around the average for our rooms.
Okay.
And with Escape the Mob, the Gigante family is the local crime organization, and they've stolen your priceless family heirloom, and you want to get it back, but the police aren't going to help you because they're not in the business of messing with the mob.
Terrible people.
But smart people like the Cincy Underground guys are.
Yes.
So you guys go to their warehouse where you get tipped off that this priceless family heirloom might be, and you find it unlocked and unguarded, so you walk right in.
It was a good tip.
Little did you know, you just set off the silent alarm.
Oh, man.
The door's locked down behind you, and the Gigante family is alerted that you're there. They're 1 hour across town. So then you had 60 minutes to get in, find your priceless family heirloom, and get out before the Gigante show up, and they waste you.
It was scary. I thought the Tommy guns were going to come ablazing. I thought we were done.
Minutes away, you passed them on the causeway.
Yeah, they didn't even. It's just like a movie scene where you see the shooters drive by and the getaway car drive by. Then, yeah, perfect.
Just give them a little salute as you're going. They won't think anything of it.
You have a great day, sir. Yeah, it was a cool scenario. It was like a movie. It felt like I was in a movie. Mm-hmm. It inspired me to watch The Godfathers, actually. I watched all three of those the next week. But that's why I chose that room. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I surprised all the Undergrounders with the room. I told them all four, so we got Esmeralda. Go ahead and tell us a little about each room, since we know about Escape the Mob.
Okay,
now.
we discussed Escape the Mob. And then our newest room is called Uncle Ernie's Millions. And that one's a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. So your rich uncle has passed away, and he's left you a deed for $50 million.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Uncle Ernie.
I don't know what happened to him, but I think the Gigante family has something to do with it. So, his lawyer, Mr. Cravendoe, is trying to get his hands on this money because he says all this money goes to a charity that he controls.
Gotcha.
So, you let him know, I'm going to go over to his place and I'm going to find a copy of the will, because he always said that he keeps a copy of his will in his game room. So Mr. Cravendoe calls the police and says somebody's going to break in. So you've got 1 hour to find the will as well as the key to get out, or else you get nothing.
Nothing.
$50 million or nothing. So that's another kind of you had to get your priceless family heirloom and get out.
Yeah,
With Uncle Ernie's Millions, you had to get the will and get out, which is, obviously every room is a very, very different challenge.
Right.
So sometimes there's an extra layer to it.
That's kind of what it seemed like. You gave us a tour of all the rooms, and I was like, every single one is completely different.
So Escape the Mob can do up to 8 people.
Gotcha.
Uncle Ernie's Millions is our smallest room, and that's going to do 6 people. Our largest room is Double Agent Dilemma, and Double Agent Dilemma is kind of the magnum opus of escape rooms. It's so neat.
Yeah.
And I gave you a tour of it, but you haven't gotten to play it yet, so you got to come back.
I'm very excited.
But with Double Agent Dilemma, the cool part is the point of the game is not even to get the key to get out. You have to find out who the double agent is. There are 8 possible double agents. Find out who they are, and then disarm the bomb they've planted in the agency. Once you disarm the bomb, the time stops and you win. So it's a completely different concept. It's an escape room you don't even have to escape from. But there's so many surprises around every corner, and it's all technological. So everything is lights and magnets and sounds, and it's the coolest thing ever. So if any of you guys are listening who have ever done an escape room before, give this one a shot, because it's going to be a completely unique experience. That one does 12 people, by the way.
I was just about to say, just through the walkthrough, that was the biggest room for sure. I was like, wow, this would be tough. And there was so many little gadgets, and you only exampled 2 little things, and I was like, it excited me. So I can't wait to come back. My question is, for rooms that big, do you need 12 people?
You know what? With that particular room, the more people, the odds are better.
Gotcha.
So I know that in some cases it sounds like 12 people would be tripping over each other.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen this room, you really don't know. I mean, it's definitely comfortable for 12.
Yeah.
It's designed for 12. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen a group of 2 win, which happens occasionally in Escape the Mob and so on.
Yeah.
But this one's got a lot of stuff to do. So I would say, with this one, I can't say minimum of 4 or anything like that, because it depends on your experience level and stuff, but definitely get your friends together to do it.
Yeah.
Friends, neighbors, family, or coworkers, anything like that.
And it genuinely was a bonding experience. After I'm coworkers with these people, but we work in radio, so we have different radio shifts.
Right.
I don't see them all the time, so to be able to just experience an hour of what their mind goes through in a struggle, it was just cool. It really brings you all together. It's perfect for corporate places like that.
Exactly. Now we got one other room that we haven't discussed yet. It's called Esmeralda's Curse.
That one was.
Esmeralda's Curse is one of the more challenging rooms in the Cincinnati area. It's got about a 15 to 20% escape rate.
Oh wow!
With that one, it is a gypsy parlor, and you have to essentially. Madame Rosa was this great fortune teller, and she was able to predict her own death. So before she died, she put Esmeralda's Curse on her own fortune-telling parlor. And then a man came in, had his fortune read, and she was angered by the fortune that he read for her, so he killed her.
Oh, no.
I know. There's a lot of murder in these things.
Yeah.
And Uncle Ernie's still
Mayhem
like that. The
reigns.
jury's out. But so you've got an hour. You've stumbled into the place. You've got an hour before Esmeralda's Curse steals your soul. And there's so many cool things with that, and like the way we deliver clues is really, really neat. I think I showed you
Great
that.
theming.
Yeah.
Great theming.
Yeah, it's a
I mean,
beautiful room.
Yeah,
It really was a beautiful. It was
Yeah.
colored and all the props and everything. It was gorgeous. And Uncle Ernest Millions was really cool. They're all really cool, to be honest. Escape the Room had a really vintage. Escape the Mob had a vintage feel to it. That was
It's a
really cool.
warehouse.
Yeah, you pulled it off perfectly. Whoever put that together, I'm sure the PR
You know, it's
team
funny.
built it
We
by
had an
hand.
error one time. This is years ago. Or we didn't have an error. It was the fire department was there checking on the fire extinguishers.
Gotcha.
And I remember that whoever was in charge, the chief or whatever, comes up to me and he goes, "All right, why didn't you guys report the water damage in that room on the left?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So he's freaking me out, and I was like, "Show me this water damage." And he points. I was like, "Dude, that's themed paint."
Yeah.
Like, so it's painted up to be a warehouse.
Yeah.
So it's like, the drywall is yellow and it's like fingerprinted and stuff like
Right.
like it would be, and it was convincing enough that a professional that looks for things like that thought it was real.
He was
how
tricked.
cool is that?
That's really cool, and I guarantee half the things I thought was real in that room were props.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yeah, and sometimes it is real. Sometimes it's just
Yeah.
appropriate to be in the room, so it's in the
Right.
room, And that's one thing that's kind of different about our room from the other rooms that I've done.
Yeah.
Is that it's themed. So
Gotcha.
there's stuff in the room that is appropriate to be in that room in line with a theme that you're not going to use.
So not all escape rooms are like your guys'.
No, some of them that I've experienced are very minimalist. There's very few things in there. It's painted and stuff, and they all
Right.
look nice, but pretty much everything comes into play.
Okay.
But for us, like, that's what adds like that level of difficulty. Like, this statue that may be the key to get out.
Yeah.
But it may be nothing. You know,
Okay.
so that's what makes it super challenging, and the feedback has been incredibly positive with these things. I mean,
I haven't heard a bad thing.
yeah, I mean,
I've talked to a couple people that have gone to your location in particular, and just there's no bad feedback. You always have a fun time, it seems like.
And
Yeah.
another thing, people can at some point, at some day, come back and play the same room because we can change the
Yeah.
clues in the room.
Right.
The theming can stay the same, but all you have to do is change 3 or 4 or 5 clues, and it's a different game. All
Yeah.
bets are off.
right
You know?
now, so with right now, if you did a room 2 years ago, if you did Esmeralda's Curse and you do it again, it's essentially the same, to be clear. But with Double Agent Dilemma,
Yeah.
remember I said that there's 8 double agents. You have to
Right.
discover who it is. Well, right now there's only one, but what we're going to do in the future is add in the other double agents. So it's
Okay.
a possibility of any of the 8, and the gameplay is going to be different. So potentially, that's going to be a room you can do 8 different times.
Wow. And that's huge because, having 4 rooms is big enough because you have that variable to where you can choose. You have a variety. But to customize each room would bring even more variety and bring even more people in. That's brilliant,
Well,
honestly.
I don't know how it's going to ultimately turn out
Yeah.
because you run into logistical things with this often.
All the time,
But our
right.
goal originally was to make it so we talked to a group and it's like, all right, we did this before and Billy was a double agent. Okay, we'll make sure that Alex is a double agent this time. I don't know if it's going to work out that way. It may honestly end up being a situation where it's one double agent for a year and then another one for a year
Okay.
and so on. So it could be that way, but still it's going to be a whole new room within the
Right.
room. And I mean, you saw it and you know nothing about the room because it looks like a normal room.
All of them just look like rooms.
Yeah.
And until you're actually in the environment, we didn't obviously tour the Escape the Mob room before we went in because that would have ruined it. But when we walked in, I was like, what? We're just 4 walls. How am I supposed to escape this?
Right.
It's challenging. It really is.
It really is.
Yeah.
When that door shuts behind you for the first time and you just look blankly straight ahead, said, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
I got a room and I don't know what to do.
Most common question I get from people doing it for the first time is, how do I know where to start?
You don't.
You don't. And that's the most, whether you've done 100 escape rooms or this is your first one, that's the most challenging part. Where do you begin?
That's probably the mark of a good escape room.
Well, it is. And oftentimes, I mean, you're going to be exposed to potentially clues that you won't need until the future.
Yeah.
You know, like this is red, gray, blue, yellow. I mean, is that important? I don't know. Is it important now?
You can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a clue like that in Escape the Mob Challenge. There was one where I was like, is this even going to be used? I don't think we use that.
Meff and I are going to decline to comment on issues within Escape the Mob.
Sounds good.
We'll just say that we will bring the Gigante family to justice. Yeah, and it's very often, and there's a lot of ironies in it where stuff you see at the beginning you won't need till the end, and there's stuff that is hard to find that you'll need at the very beginning. And I mean, where do you start? I mean, I'm telling you, right now, it's oftentimes just finding that first key or that first clue or, what's important now or will this have significance? That's insane. And it's like the first almost 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And you got to realize that for me, 10 or 15 minutes is 10 or 15 minutes into the game. But for you, that's a quarter of the game gone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I haven't started yet.
Right. And that's kind of how we felt at first because we had no idea what was going on. 10 minutes had passed, and I'm like, I still don't know where I'm at.
Yeah, that's one of the great things. All the rooms have a great big digital clock on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's counting down, and...
Wish I had the 24 noise.
Yeah. About 5 or 6 minutes, you see, 5 or 6 minutes ago, and that clock keeps going tick, tick, tick. You see panic set in, Right.
Well, and obviously I don't want to give away any particular secrets, but for all the rooms, in the last few minutes, there's always something that kind of indicates that you've only got 3 or less minutes left. And it's different for each room, but your heart starts pounding and stuff.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to think straight, and it's like, it's really cool. It's intended to be intense, not necessarily distracting,
right?
But it's definitely intense. But
it's not overwhelming. That's something I definitely want to make clear to people that don't know what escape rooms are. It's not scary. It's not like a haunted house. Nothing's going to come grab. Nothing's going to scare you. It's purely logical, and it's like a puzzle. It's and
it's not claustrophobic. Like none of it really is designed to. And it seems like everybody that has apprehensions have them allayed by the time that they go in there. I've never had anybody, with the exception of like maybe small kids that you should have brought anyway. Like I've never had like an adult go in there and be like, I can't handle this.
Gotcha. What is the recommended like minimum age to do
I would say the recommended age without bringing adults is maybe 11 or 12.
Gotcha.
You can bring. We're not going to have an age limit at all.
Okay.
But if it was like a bunch of 5-year-olds, at least have like an adult or two in there to help them along the way. Because kids honestly are pretty good at this stuff.
It's the thing about children is they don't have the inhibitions of a lifetime of grief, so they just go by their logic and pure innocent thinking, and it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, like while you were going through like all the stuff in your life that you regretted and so on, like these kids are just like, oh, hey, there's a combo.
This tool reminds me of when my wife left me.
But this kid's like, that tool fits on there, Yeah. We've done a lot in terms of like when kids have birthday parties, when they get down to a certain age where they don't really have like logical abilities and stuff, like 5, 6, 7 years old, maybe have an adult in there and they can still play the game.
Yeah.
But we've done a lot of that. But the cool part is that all the puzzles are designed so they're appropriate for a 60-year-old or a 6-year-old, really.
Gotcha.
So it's not really an age-appropriate thing. It's not beneath adults, and it's not above children.
Looking back at it, that's exactly right. There was nothing that would have been too difficult or too easy. So, it's very balanced. That's the perfect word for that room that I could at least escape the mob. I can't wait to do the other 3.
Oh, yeah.
And I will be doing all 3. And probably posting sweaty reactions. And my favorite thing about, we haven't even mentioned this, my favorite thing about these rooms is... if you win, you get to hold up a winner sign, some thumbs up. If you lose, you hold the loser sign. And it's funny because you look at all the loser pictures and no one looks upset to lose.
They're all smiling even though they're, great big signs that said loser.
Yeah,
right?
Check out the Escape the Room Challenge Facebook page for all this.
Yeah, and if you want to, you can actually get teaser videos on escapetheroomchallenge.com. That's our website. Absolutely. We're located in Westchester, Ohio. For all you Cincinnatians out there listening, we're right across the parking lot from Entertainment Junction, the world's largest indoor train display, which is also one of my favorite places.
Very cool.
That's very cool over there.
Cool.
But we're open now 7 days a week because we're in our summer hours.
Gotcha.
For the next week or so, we're open in the evenings, Monday through Friday, essentially, and then all day Saturday and Sunday, as late as like 11 o'clock for the last show.
And are there you can go online and pick, there's set times for each room.
The way that works is you go on escapetheroomchallenge.com, you click on reservations, you pick what day you want to go. It shows you what times are available and which shows are available.
Gotcha.
So you book it online, you pay for it online, and then you just show up and be like, "Hi, I'm Brendan Davis," and
boom,
and then
I have a reservation.
I check you in, inform the police that you're in town, and
yes,
there are some people who do show up without reservations, and that's a little difficult because if people had reserved the room and
they want that one,
you're taking you're rolling the dice with that. If you are in the area, especially maybe if you're at Entertainment Junction or somewhere in Westchester and you want to stop by and see if a room's available, please do. You're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
But the only problem is we may not have anything. So go on our website. You can reserve up to an hour before the show.
Gotcha.
So that's the best way to do it.
Here's my metaphor for that.
Okay.
Escape the Room Challenge is the brain surgeon of surgeons. It's the brain surgeon of escape rooms. If you walk into a brain surgeon's office, a very good one, and say, "I would like an appointment," you're going to have to wait a while. But at the same time, he's going to want to get you in because he's the best out there.
I didn't understand that. Did you, Meff?
Sadly, I think I did.
Thank you, Meff.
Okay. Well, explain it to me after the show. No. It's a good metaphor. It's I think of it like a restaurant. You can make a reservation and be guaranteed a seat at 7, or you can show up at 7 and roll the dice.
Walking in is always a gamble.
Yeah, but you're welcome to. It's we love to see as many people as possible. You got to realize this is as fun for us as it is for the people that come.
It's got to be the best job ever.
It is. I sit there and eat Wendy's Baconators and just watch people try to escape the room. And the beauty of it is, and this is where it's so cool, everybody shows up there to have a good time.
It's so fun.
If it's for a birthday party or, a bachelorette party or dude's night out or even like a corporate event or whatever, everybody's there. Like at the very least, at least they don't have to be in their cubicle that day.
Right.
So people are there, they're laughing, they're joking, they're having a good time. And I've never had anybody not walk out with a smile on their face,
Man, that sucked.
Yeah.
I didn't escape.
One thing that surprised me
except Bob Sadler.
Bob Sadler was responsible for Class X Radio not getting it. That man, I'm surprised he still has his show after his performance.
Okay. Bob, don't watch this.
So to clarify, we had Class X Radio starring Wildman Walker come out, and they did not disarm the bomb in Double Agent Dilemma, and Wildman swears up and down that it's Bob Sadler's fault. So we've been ripping on him for a month now.
About a month ago, I think it was a Wednesday, I was board hopping at Class X, and Wildman did not stop blaming Bob, and apparently it didn't go over too well.
It started the night before.
Really?
He blamed him to his face. He's like, "We would have gotten out. Going for Bob Sadler. What are you thinking?"
With the Wildman cane. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, guys, we're going to go into a break. We'll talk more about Escape the Room when we come back. This has been awesome so far. Slipped Up by Academic will give us a slight little music break, get you in the groove while we formulate the next question that the listeners needs to hear. Only on the Davis Zone, CincyUnderground.com.
This is for all the single mothers across the world. They gotta raise their kids by themselves, because they men took the easy way out. Didn't wanna face up to his responsibility, so he should. Man, you slipped up, impregnated one of your dames that you met outside the club. You was loving her frame on a stormy night, making love up under the rain. Not so many different things tend to run through your brain. You thinking, dang, I ain't ready to be a daddy. You weren't thinking that before. You wanted the sex badly, pulling down her panties, then inserted your erection. Then had the nerve to go up in with no protection, no discretion. Totally in the wrong. Now you mad 'cause you call calling you up, singing that song. Told her get an abortion, but she said no. She about to have a kid that you ain't about to be there for. But on the real, a true man to be there, bro, and never run out on his seed. So what you scared for? You better man up, take responsibility and stand up. Too many single parent moms got it rough. Man, you slipped up. You in the streets running wild, got your girl pregnant, but you not ready to have a child. Man, you slipped up. Ain't talked to her in a while, but never answer the phone whenever she try to dial. Man, you slipped up, claiming you was so tough. Now you ready to run, cause it got a little rough. Man, you slipped up. Would you please explain it to me? How you could turn your back and leave or walk away from your seeds? Now she calling you up, but you won't pick up the phone. In the back of your head, you want this girl to leave you alone and act like it never happened and she doesn't exist. It's getting closer and you about to have a son on the 6th. Now your conscience eating at you, starting to bug you a bit. Who would've thought you'd be the type to leave your son in the ditch? Alone with his mother, just to struggle for rent. She couldn't work one job, had to double her shifts. Why you running around showing love to these tricks? The young man is getting older and he's hugging the strip. On the hustling tip because his pockets is hurting. And he loves his mom and he don't wanna feel like a burden. Then you pass by the block and see a face so familiar. A young man selling dope, stacking bills up. But you keep driving by. You's a deadbeat dad with a hell of a guy. Man, you slipped up. You in the streets running wild. Got your girl pregnant, but you not ready to have a child. Man, you slipped up. Ain't talked to her in a while, but never answer the phone whenever she try to dial. Man, you slipped up. Claiming you was so tough. Now you ready to run, cause it got a little rough. Man, you slipped up. Would you please explain it to me? How you could turn your back and leave or walk away from your seat? Don't get me wrong, I know some girls love to lie, saying it was your child, but she had another guy. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when it's yours and you know it, and you still refusing to show it. Man, that's a trick move. You better take responsibility. It's too many single moms and it's killing me. You feeling me? If you came up in it, I know a few, but I refuse to put their name up in it. What you should do for your seeds, homie, ain't no limit. Don't let her struggle by herself. You better make those digits. Show your seeds some love. You better have respect, or the DA and come and take half your check. Now you mad, wanna find her just to grab her neck, but it's really your fault that you land in debt. So don't do the grind if you can't do the time. What kind of real man leaves his own kids behind? Man, you slipped up. You in the streets running wild. Got your girl pregnant, but you not ready to have a child. Man, you slipped up. Ain't talked to her in a while, but never answer the phone whenever she try to dial. Man, you slipped up. Claiming you was so tough. Now you ready to run, cause it got a little rough. Man, you slipped up. Would you please explain it to me? How you could turn your back and leave or walk away from your seeds? Yeah, yeah. C sharp on the beat. You know, sometimes you gotta get real on them. Talk about some real life situations, man. Dedicated to all the single moms out there. Keep handling your business. Yeah.
Oh, everyone, please hold the applause. We are going to get back into the Escape the Room Challenge questions and the overall awesome atmosphere that you guys brought and we're talking about. But first, some big news over the weekend. Not really news. The Billboard Music Awards were held, and I have the complete list of 2017's winners. If you guys have any comments, please throw them out while I'm naming these off. The top artist was Drake. And before I even go any further, Drake won 13 awards, which is nuts. Yeah, he cleaned house. Wow. It's the most successful Billboard artist of all time, so congratulations to Drake. Top new artist, Zayn won. Zayn Malik of One Direction. He had Pillow Talk and I Don't Want to Die, something like that. I'm not a big pop fan, so Zayn won that for top new artist. The Achievement Award was won by 21 Pilots. Personal favorites of mine, top male artist, Drake. And he beat Justin Bieber out for that one. Anybody that can beat Justin Bieber is a fan of mine.
So Drake who? I'm kidding, obviously. No, Drake is a very big artist. Not really my cup of tea. I like a big plethora of music, yeah. But kind of like modern rap, R&B. Just that's not me. You know.
Even though I said I love hip hop and I talk about it a lot, I'm right there with you. I don't like the modern rap game. There's a difference between hip hop and rap. Hip hop is lyrical. Rap is mostly centered around the beats and kind of just the vibe it gives off. It's more aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one. Top female artist, Beyonce beat Adele and Rihanna. Wow. But she has twins.
Yeah.
Anybody with twins
North
is going to
and
win.
West, or is that her? I don't know.
No, I think it's South.
I wasn't prepared for this portion of the interview.
No,
It's
yeah.
like, can we get back to the romper thing?
I'm sure next billboards will have the Chainsmokers in rompers because they feel
I had never heard of the Chainsmokers.
Yeah.
They sold out U.S. Bank Arena.
Yes.
Like 2 times over.
Unreal.
Like last week. Oh my god. I can't name a song. I have no idea who they are. All I know is they sold tickets.
They have that song Closer. And I can't sing it because we're on Cincy Underground. We can only play unsigned
I thought
artists.
It was a 9 Inch Nails song.
I'm sure there's more than one song out there with the title Closer, Ryan.
Okay.
The music industry is fairly large.
So is it rock or?
It's pop. I don't even know how to describe it. It's pop. Rock.
It's not even that I couldn't name a song.
Right,
I've never heard of this group.
You probably have heard the song.
I'm sure I
it's
have.
Played all the time.
Yeah.
I'll play it for you after the show.
Okay, cool.
We'll get this.
I'm gonna walk away with
out.
more knowledge.
See, you come to a school, you learn so much, even if it's just about pointless music. Top 100 artists, top Hot 100 Drake, top Billboard 200 artists Drake, top song sales artist Drake. Good Lord.
Wow.
How many more things could you win? Top radio song artist was 21 Pilots. And they're cleaning house because I know you guys probably don't know 21 Pilots.
I know 21 Pilots.
Okay, yeah, they started out of Ohio. I'm not going to call them local. They started around Columbus. And they have skyrocketed ever since their album came out in 2015. Absolutely love them. I'm glad to see them doing so well. We are a big fan of local music here. Yeah. And it's in Ohio, so I consider it local. Top streaming song, Drake. And top social artist was BTS. Top touring artist was Beyonce. Top R&B artist, Beyonce. Top R&B tour, Beyonce. And top rap artist, Drake. And it looks like we have a caller on the Davis Zone, CincyUnderground.com. Let's go ahead and see what it's all about. Well, they already hung up. Never mind.
I was going to give them 2 tickets to Escape the Rim Challenge.
It looks like they're missing out. It might have just been a little glitch in the system. But, guys, I want to get back to Escape the Room after that little billboard segment because I was going to talk more about music, but I'm so happy with having you guys here and happy talking about my experience that I want to get straight back into it. So, I want to ask you a question. Which is the most difficult room that you guys have?
Esmeralda's Curse by a long shot.
By far.
Esmeralda's Curse may be one of the more difficult rooms in the Cincinnati area.
Okay, gotcha. How many people does that hold? You might have said.
It does 10 people. And
10,
the escape rate is between 15 and 20%.
Wow, gotcha.
So the reason why it's difficult is, first of all, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's what we consider to be semi-non-linear. And by that, for those of you who haven't done an escape room, essentially the way a linear escape room works is that it starts with one clue, which leads to the next, which leads to the next.
Gotcha.
With this one, it's still that, but you have to take things from around the room and put them together to get from one clue to the next. So that's where it gets really challenging.
So, like you said earlier, there's a lot of, at least in Escape the Mob, I found a lot of sequential clues. You had to find clues to find another clue. So you're saying in Esmeralda's Curse, you could find a clue that won't really relate to what you're trying to do until later in the game.
Anything is possible.
Gotcha.
Anything is possible.
Perfect.
And I can tell you this, the theme is very mystical.
Yeah.
There's Ouija boards and there's like
crystal balls.
Well, there is a crystal ball and there's tarot cards and all of which, I mean, they could play a significance, they may not.
Right.
You know, that's the beauty of it.
It really is a beauty of it because to talk a little bit more about my experience, when I first walked in the room, it was misleading to get into the main room because Escape the Mob doesn't only have one room.
No.
Yeah. I'm not going to say how many it has. I'm not going to tell you how big they are. I'm just saying there's not just one room. When you get to the main room, when I first walked in there, I was like, I look like I'm in someone's house. I don't understand what I'm supposed to pick up. I don't understand what to do. The cool thing is, though, is that you guys aren't completely heartless when it comes to getting these people out of here. You come over the loudspeaker sometimes, give us a little bit of advice.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it. So with a lot of escape rooms, you get 3 clues.
Yeah.
You're limited to 3 clues, and you can opt for, you have to ask for them. You can opt for more, but there's a time deduction. Now, with ours, the beauty of it is there might be 2 people in the room, and there might be 10. And there might be 10-year-olds, and it might be 28-year-olds, you know?
Yeah.
So with us, we give unlimited clues, and it's based on a timeline. Gotcha. So if you're behind, we'll give you a couple clues, and we'll bunch you up. And all the clues, you know, they're very, like, cryptic, and it just kind of puts you in the right direction. It's not like the combo is, you know.
Yeah.
So it's clues that just put you in the right direction. And then if you're ahead, we let you do your thing.
Gotcha.
You know? So it's very appropriate for everybody, you know?
Right.
And that's why, like, groups of 2 can be successful.
Do you tend to give them a little bit more clues?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Typically.
So it
But,
kind of
you know,
varies.
sometimes
on
we
the
get pros in there. We get people that really know what they're doing, and they
trying
don't
to be that guy.
want clues. But
Yeah, I had my whole family, and some came from out of towns, and really it's idiots on both sides of the family. So we knew we didn't have any hope at all. So if it weren't for the clues, that helped a lot. We never would have solved it and got out of time. So Ryan made sure, and I said, "Hey Ryan, before we went in, I said, you're going to deal with some idiots here that aren't going to. They won't even know." Clue one, they don't have a clue. So he helped us along the way, and it turned out to be a great night. They're still talking about it
for sure.
Yeah, it was fun.
you guys did very well.
Very well. What is the quickest time for one of these rooms?
It depends on the room.
Gotcha.
So they all have their different record times.
Right.
And the way that we gauge it is by time remaining, and they're all about 20 to 25 minutes remaining.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you this, like we've had times like with Double Agent and with Esmeralda's Curse and so on, we've just had people that were just pros and just knew what they were doing, went in there, crushed it, got the record.
Were those usually repeat customers?
No, if it was a repeat customer, we wouldn't count the record.
Gotcha.
I mean, you don't get a T-shirt for winning the record, you know? So it's just for fun, but it's not fair to other people if you go in there and do it in 15 minutes,
Yeah.
So, but the Escape the Mob, the room you did, was the strangest thing I've ever seen, because I was actually running that experience.
Really?
And it was a group of 3 and a group of 2 that did not know each other.
Wow.
None of them have done an escape room before. And they just clicked better than anybody else has ever. It's like the Beatles when they aligned.
Wow.
And they just went in and with very, very few clues,
just got it done.
just got out. And
I could see how you could almost, I mean, not really, but you could almost bypass a couple of the clues and escape the mob.
No.
No?
No.
Not
I mean, like
one?
you can potentially do things out of order.
That's
but that's not what you want to do in an escape room, because if you open, let's say like there's a drawer with a lock on it, and you just guess the combination. You open it up. Well, you get something that you're not ready for then.
Yeah.
But you think, especially everybody else in your group who doesn't know you just guess a combination, thinks that this has a significance when it doesn't yet. So
communication is key.
Communication, working together, and the biggest thing that we emphasize, because I see this every single game, is if you're pretty sure that you're putting the right combination into the right lock and you can't get it to open, let somebody else try it.
Gotcha.
Because locks, no matter what they are, whether it's your car or your front door, are tricky.
Yeah, it's very true.
So
when we were going, we had got the right key for the right lock, and we tried the code, the key, whatever you want to call it, and it wouldn't open. And then we just moved on to something else because we're like, okay, that doesn't work. And then Ryan comes over the speaker and says, that code was correct. Try again. And we were like, okay. And that's the point where I thought that's when they're laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because like I like it when people win.
You're right.
Because I don't want to. I mean, people don't get mad when they lose or anything, but I cheer for the house in a lot of cases,
Of course.
And I've been known to like yell at the monitor, like, no, you saw the combo. It's like watching a horror movie, but it's like, don't go through that door. And so I've been known to do that, and sometimes I'm wearing headphones, so my coworkers think I'm an idiot. And, so they don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden I start screaming at a monitor, and people can't hear me, and
Is it just one operator per room, or is there like a board that people operate to move all the contraptions and mechanisms in the room, and you're just on the speaker?
It's one operator per room.
Gotcha.
And some of the stuff is automated.
Okay.
Most of the stuff is automated, and some that can't be automated is done. Primarily, the person that's watching the room, for one, is for safety.
Right.
Because like if somebody fell or something like that, obviously that could be an issue. We've never really had an injury in our rooms. Like that's a little bit ludicrous, but so we watch it all times, and then every once in a while somebody needs to be let out we will let you out for a restroom break and let you back in. Just to clear the air, no pun intended. So, but there are some elements of the game that we physically have to do. Everything's run off a PLC, which is the machine language computer, without getting too complicated. And it will, we'll activate things when we hear certain things, or make things available at a certain point, or anything like that. But for the most part, it's really kind of self-sustaining. I mean, honestly, I can put you in Escape the Mob, and aside from clues, I could really just shut off the monitor, and you may or may not get out in an hour.
There's one part in particular I want to ask you about after the show because I don't want to give it away. It's a very specific part, but I need to find that out because I thought in my mind it was like, no way is that automatic. They definitely had to do that from the control room.
I know what you're thinking about, and it is automatic.
It is?
Yeah, but there's more to it. I'll explain that to you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hear that.
We're getting cryptic with your listeners. You guys are going to have to come to escapetheroomchallenge.com.
Exactly.
Book online. We're open 7 days a week. Try Escape the Mob and see if you can find out what point you think he's talking about with something that's kind of neat in there that he thought wasn't automatic and we did manually, but it is automatic. So
it's closer to the end. I need you to go try Escape the Mob. That is the Davis Zone tip of the day. Is find out what I'm talking about on Escape the Mob. But after that, try Double Agent Dilemma. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, you got to get your radio people to come out. Bring more friends. Actually, bring more people because that one really the success rate is higher with the more people you have because there's so much in that room. I mean, like I said, it's designed for 12 people.
You're gonna feel like Austin Powers when you get out because it's not as serious as James Bond. I don't feel like I'm on the verge of death, but I would feel like Austin Powers, the best funny agent in the world.
It's hilarious. I mean, you are disarming a bomb, and I've showed you the bomb.
Yeah,
the bomb
cool.
looks very. It's almost like cartoonish with all the lights and the sounds and like the bioagent. And again, if you go on our website escapetheroomchallenge.com, there's a video for Double Agent Dilemma, and it explains the premise of it, and it shows the actual bomb itself, which the bomb is like super super cool.
Yeah,
I actually helped build that in some.
Did you really?
I'm not like the most technological guy, but I did.
PR man and prop guy.
Not even really a good PR guy,
You're just Ryan.
Yeah, I go on the radio every once in a while. No, but that was like we just wanted to have that perfect because that's the one thing that's in the room where it's like this is intimidating, and I think we nailed it. We really did.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. I was it's not scary, it's not overwhelming, but you do get a little bit intimidated sometimes.
Yeah,
like,
it's supposed to be intense, intimidating.
Yeah,
but there's nobody in the room with you, so there's no jump scares or anything of that sort. So you don't have to be afraid. It's not claustrophobic.
Yeah,
you can get out if you get scared and you want to get out. We're more than happy to let you out.
Yeah, has anybody ever had an anxiety attack or anything like that to where you had to let them out?
I had one lady that was like recently in a car accident and it was an entrapment situation, and she said, because she actually booked it. I don't know what her thought process was, but she booked it, and they did Esmeralda's Curse, and so she worked with our group sales lady, Katie Schumacher, and Katie said, well, she asked me if the lady could come by and see the room.
Yeah.
And so she stopped by, and I showed her the room, and she was like, oh, this will be fine, because she thought it was going to be way smaller.
Gotcha.
And I was like, if you just kind of wave at the camera, I'll subtly let you out. Just say you have to use the restroom. It's no problem. She didn't have to get out, though. She had no issue whatsoever.
So that should alleviate anyone's concerns of any sort of anxiety, because that seems to be the biggest apprehension for people that didn't know what escape room challenges were. Not Escape the Room Challenge in particular, but just escape rooms in general. Absolutely. But thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Bill. Meff.
Thank you
so much for coming by.
Thank you.
You gonna come back and do Double Agent Dilemma soon?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Within 2 to 3 weeks, I will be back.
Awesome.
I got a pretty packed schedule after graduation.
That'd be fantastic.
We're definitely coming back.
Awesome.
Love to see you guys again.
Thank you for having us on the show.
Yeah,
thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. All the listeners definitely appreciate it, because if you guys have half as much fun as we did, it's definitely worth an hour of your time, 100%. Well, that will conclude the Davis Zone for today. Escape the Room Challenge, guys, pretty much took up all of our time, which is fine by me, because I love to talk about it. Great experience. Great new things to check out around the country. Not even in Cincinnati, because I know this will broadcast all over the country. There are escape rooms everywhere. But if you are in the tri-state area, Escape the Room Challenge in Westchester, across from Entertainment Junction. Next Monday, I have my sports expert, Jared, coming in. We're going to be debating about some NBA Finals. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for tuning in for another installment of the Davis Zone, only on CincyUnderground.com. I'll see you next week.